The stakes have never been higher. The competition has never been stronger. 35 drivers, 20 rounds. One will be crowned champion. Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. You're watching the premier American open wheel series on iRacing. The Lionheart IndyCar series presented by First Medical Equipment starts now.
We're all gamers, and HyperX is always ready to game. Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. From the South Australian breakwater that revolutionized the screwdriver, Phillip Island, this is the Global Sim Racing Channel's Round 14 coverage of the Lionheart IndyCar Series Season 8 Championship presented by First Medical Equipment. Recent rumors of a new oval-only series being added to the Lionheart docket certainly has fans abuzz. Could the epicenter of these rumblings be the twisty course dominance displayed by a certain pair of drivers? At the conclusion of last season, the previous 16 road course wins has belonged exclusively to Adam Blocker or Sage Karam. The streak stretched to 18 as Karam found continued success this season at both the Glen and Barber. Only some late race bizarre misadventures finding those two allowed Connor Harrington to steal a win out of the final corner at the Indy GP course, making Harrington the first non-Blocker Karam winner since Jake Wright tasted champagne some 3 seasons ago. In the fourth and most recent road course event, rookie Joshua Chen bested Blocker to become the third different non-oval winner this season. So, where does that leave us now? Blocker sits third in points, still looking for a road course win this season, but is the defending champion here at Phillip Island. Connor Harrington stands just a horse kick to the flank of Blocker, still hoping to catch Karam, who sits on top. And speaking of catching, how about Andrew Have-A-Catch Kinsella? He's up 2 spots now in second and very much in position to earn his first season title. And then there are the rest, the professors and Mariannes of the Lionheart cast, bitter about being left out of the theme song lyrics, hoping to sweeten the sour grapes of road course failure. So bring on an oval series if you choose to, but today it's turns of the left and right nature. The HyperX Grand Prix of Phillip Island is on tap, and all the frothy simulated Dallara IR18 action streams your way live as it happens right here on the iRacing Esports Network. Peace, good health, and welcome to the Sim Experience Countdown to Green. Over these 15 minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to appreciate the HyperX Grand Prix of Phillip Island. Former real-world IndyCar driver Richie Hearns joins yours truly, Bill Soupson, to bring you our words-eye view. Sean Ambrose has director duties, armed with cameras provided by Dougie Beard. Now, nothing is certain except death and taxes, but if Ben Franklin had ever seen a sim race here at Phillip Island, he'd include this track hosting an exciting event to his list. So for the ghost of Ben Franklin and anyone else unfamiliar with today's venue, here's a look at Phillip Island.
Welcome to Phillip Island. As the name implies, this track is located on a splotch of land off the south coast of Australia near Melbourne. While there's been plenty of racing here for close to a century, the track's current incarnation has only been around since the late 80s. And this version is a doozy. With only 12 turns spread across the roughly 4.5 kilometers, it's a decently fast circuit. But what really makes this place stand apart is the incredible variety in those few corners. From negative to positive camber, early apexes, late apexes, blind crest, hairpins, sweepers, if you name it, it's probably got it. On top of that, the front stretch tends to offer up a slipstream with its incredible length, but it then forces the drivers into a game of chicken by chucking them into the frightening Buin. Corners like Lukey Heights stretches a car's grip to the limit and then shocks you with a sudden downhill braking into MG. Retaining something of an old-school twist, unlike most modern courses, Phillip Island has earthen embankments running along many parts of the track. While it's meant to keep the cars safely retained within the circuit's confines, anyone unfortunate enough to manage to jump them will be faced with a ton of damage for their troubles. A variety of types of racing take place at the track, including motorcycles, lower-level open-wheelers, and touring cars. Possibly the most well-known among those is the Australian Supercars Championship. With the Aussie reputation of having dangerous, difficult, and challenging circuits, Phillip Island certainly holds up to the standard. The beautiful views of the beach and the ocean may lure some of the fans in, but there's no doubt that the incredible racing at this unique track keeps them around.
A look at Phillip Island. Now, it is my pleasure to have a real-world former IndyCar driver as my co-commentator, Richie Hearn. Richie, I know you've raced in real life on a lot of the tracks that are on the Lionheart schedule. I didn't do the research, but I'm going to assume you never raced here for real.
No, I've never been there myself. It's one of the few places I'd love to go visit and watch or race. And Phillip Island, it's a wonderful place to have an IndyCar race. These cars are going to be fast and quick around this little track. It looks little, but with these cars going so fast, it's almost like a go-kart track. I did a little practicing with these guys, and I was surprised to see how fast they are going. Down that first straight, it's flat out through Duin Corner in 6th gear. And that's going to lead you right into turn 2, which is a very tricky section. It's a decreasing radius over a rise, but the important part is it's going to lead all the way down into turn 4, one of the few passing opportunities, and that's going to be a first gear corner. We should see a little bit of action, maybe some contact as you lock up the brakes going into that tight right-hander. The next corner that's going to be tricky is turn 10, over Mookie Heights, down into turn 10. It's first gear, but it's downhill. Another passing opportunity, but I found that getting the braking zone is really hard to do without locking up the fronts. The problem is, though, is that leads onto that long front straightaway, and it's flat out from that turn all the way through turn 2. So I think playing it smart and clean is going to be key. Using the push to pass correctly is really going to play a part in this race. We do have a little bit of a tricky pit exit lane. We got to go a long way around. So as these guys pit for fuel and tires, coming out and blending in with traffic is going to be something to watch as well. Just remember, the Countdown to Green is brought to you by SimExperience AccuForce steering systems. With the most advanced tuning features on the market, the AccuForce Direct Drive is second only to the Real Thing. To check out the entire SimExperience line of products, head on over to simexperience.com.
Let's take a look at the points, and we have 3 championships that we follow here on the Global Sim Racing channel. Now, Sage Karam stumbled last time out at Chicagoland, finishing, get this, dead last. Now, he's out of drop insurance. So Andrew Kinsella was really the only driver near the top that was able to take advantage of Karam's misfortune. Adam Blocker, well, he finished 19th. Connor Harrington was 27th. So when Kinsella finished 7th, that was enough to move him up 2 spots and is now just 19 markers back of Karam. Boy, it is tightening up for sure. Before we look at the team championship, one last thing. I want to go ahead and highlight Tony Schowen in 14th. He has made it back onto the graphic thanks to his first career win last round at Chicagoland. Well done, Tony. Great to see that done. Let's look at the team championship. And of course, that driver championship, as I always forget, was brought to you by First Medical Equipment. The team championship, of course, comes to you thanks to the good folks at HyperX. Now, SKM won the day at Chicagoland, and that's why they were able to move up a spot, moving Adrenaline Motorsports, the red licorice team, down into 3rd. But the team I want to really give attention to is Skid Mark Motorsports, who finished 2nd on the day. Tip the hat to Bart Workman, came home 4th, Scotty Johnson 17th, and James Brandt chipped in points from 24th position. There is another championship, and this one's fun to look at. Rich is going to talk about the rookies.
Yeah, the Rookie of the Year championship brought to you by Butt Kicker. This one's usually tighter than we're seeing. There was no points movement from the last race. Joshua Chin moving out in front with 52 points ahead of Nathan Lewis, with Frazier pretty far back. So it's pretty much a two-horse race. Usually the overall championship is a little bit wider, and this one's a little tighter, but this year it's been a little bit different. And I think at the last race, some of these rookies kind of missed out on some opportunities, but we'll keep an eye on as we get closer to the championship end. Pretty much between Chin and Lewis, I think that's what it's going to come down to.
Of course, that rookie championship, the graphic shows it all the way down to 8th. In 9th position, for some reason, they don't put him on there, but I'm going to do it just because I'm proud to be in a commentate in races that he participated in. In 9th position, none other than former Real World Indy 500 winner, Tony Kanaan, sitting 9th overall in the rookie championships. Great to have him as he raced a little bit here in the Lionheart series. Let's go ahead and talk about the Lionheart Racing Series. They're powered by, of course, HyperX, and it is the premier open wheel racing league on iRacing. It oversees two great series, the Lionheart Retro Series presented by DMLC Racing Channel, and that is featured on Thursday nights. And then the one we're showing you tonight, that would be today actually here in Australia, that is the Lionheart IndyCar Series presented by First Medical Equipment. Whatever Lionheart series you're watching, they always race in the memory of the late Dan Weldon. And GSRC is always looking to pick up new viewers, and we do so every time we broadcast one of these Lionheart events. So with them in mind, Richie, tell us a little bit about the event details.
Yeah, and these event details come to us thanks to minus 273, the premier name in karting gloves. I'm thinking about picking up another pair myself. Their industry-leading gloves are super lightweight and durable, made of breathable poly spandex. Whether you're a kart or sim racer, minus 273 gives you the control to reach victory lane. For more information on minus 273's full line of gloves and apparel, visit www.minus273.biz. And don't forget to also use minus 273 LHRS 15 for 15% off all your orders. And there's our event details. Working season 8 of the Lionheart IndyCar Series, round 14 of 20 with 3 driver drops. Of course, we're all using the Dallara IR18, and the setups are fixed, but they have been adjusted for everybody. And the cash and prizes totaling $10,721.
29 drivers were able to put in qualifying times. There were 4 drivers who did not, so we have a field of 33. I can announce that Connor Harrington has to serve an end-of-line penalty for being a little bit too vocal, I believe, in the some of the forums that after some post-race events, but he has plenty of time to get up front. Let's quickly look at the weather before we go to the grid, bring that up and see what it is down under here. What do you think, Richie?
Well, it looks like pretty much a beautiful day down there in Phillip Island. 87 degrees track temp, 82 air. That's really the key, is that 87 degrees track temp. That's really what we watch, and that's a nice, lovely day, partly cloudy. Should be good on these tires. That shouldn't be an issue. It's really just going to come down to driver skill and fuel management.
During the track description, I was really interested as you were walking me through each corner. Did I hear you right? Is it full throttle out of like 11 once you get out of that hairpin all the way to corner 2? You certainly have to lift through corner 1, the right-hander, right?
No, I did some practicing. It is flat out 6th gear all the way through 1, and then just a really late break down to 3rd gear for turn 2. And yeah, it's a long straight. So we're going to see some drafting. I think, like I said, the push to pass is going to come into play. But those braking zones I talked about, turn 4 and turn 10, I found really tricky to get right because it's so late. And the corners are a little bit off camber going into it. So, locking up those front tires, I think that's where we're going to see a lot of passing and maybe some crashes as well.
Qualifying just about wrapping up. Some people putting in their last couple laps. There is a driver who put in a time that's in pit lane now waiting for this to get started, so we can't show you on screen. Car number 20, though, Chris Fowler, is a newcomer to the series. He has been very, very quick all week in practice, so he's sitting 6th so far on the qualifying time. We'll give you a little bit more detail on that when we bring the whole thing up, but watch for him to be a factor. And we're looking here at Taylor. I don't think he's going to be able to get this one in. Nice field of 33 here today. Our slowest qualifier is our spotlighted diver, Brian. It's not easy being Greenlee. We'll talk a little bit more about him. Boy, if there is bad luck to be found, he will find it. That's a nice shot. Thank you, Dougie Beard, for that one. Boy, I tell you right there, that makes you want to call your travel agent, doesn't it? And see if you can book a room somewhere in Phillip Island. I believe qualifying is done. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring up our directors. Give me some other sponsors that might be of help. Let's go ahead and bring up the grid right now. We'll talk about it. How about two at a time, Richie? Adam Blocker sits on the front. Sage Karam, they've won all the road course races. No surprise, see them on the front row.
Yeah, next up is going to be Andrew Kinsella, who we talked about sitting second in the championship, and then Steven Larkamp starting in fifth. Yes.
Got you by surprise there. And Joshua Chin in the third position that we missed on that one. I'll take the guy here in sixth spot. That would be the aforementioned rookie, Chris Fowler. Watch out for him. Richie, row four.
Yeah, row four is going to be Matt Taylor with a 1:13.335, and next to him will be Brian Beard.
Then we get down to row five. That's veteran Brian Yazik. GSRC's own Samuel Ryman in the 10th spot.
Yeah, Aaron Morgan, another newcomer. This will be his second race, starting 11th. Damon Martinez starting 12th.
In the Baker's dozen position, it's Nathan Lewis with Adam Frazier flanking him.
Right behind them is going to be Brian Carey and Mark Cohn.
Who can qualify 17th at Phillip Island? The Candyman, Dustin Wardlow, is there. He's going to be inside at Tyler Graff.
Starting 19th will be Chris Lanini, and starting 20th will be Jason Galvin.
Jack Brandon Limkman, the double duck spot goes to Chris Stouffer.
Starting 23rd will be Scott Holmes, and 24th will be Ron Hacker.
Joe Branch and George Anzaldo filled up the next row.
And right behind them will be Tony Schowen and Brian Greenlee.
Then we get down to the four drivers that did not put in qualifying time. Mike Razelman, Connor Harrington, of course, we talked about that end-of-line penalty that he has to serve Mike Rigney, and Ken Hacker. 33 names on the entry list. And they start to roll. Keep your eyes on the road and your hands upon the wheel. Let them roll, baby, roll. We got 4 onboard cameras. We're going to start with car number 20. That is the rookie, Chris Fowler. He's got the Track Racer onboard camera. Functional and fashionable high-end game accessory. TrackRacer.com. How about the number 26? That's Tyler Graff. He's in one of our favorite sponsors, the Butt Kicker onboard camera. Feel what you've been missing. Use promo code LION2020 at thebuttkicker.com. We got a pair of HyperX onboard cameras. The first one, number 44, goes to Connor Harrington. HyperX makes the gaming gear you need to succeed. The other HyperX camera is on the course, number 2, Sage Karam. Casual or pro, no matter your creed, color, or culture, we're all gamers. HyperX is always ready to game. Use Lionheart 15 at hyperxgaming.com. All the business is out of the way, and now we see the field coming in to what could be one of the exciting corners here. This right-hand hairpin, Honda corner number 4. Richie, a passing zone in these cars or not? I've done so many MX-5s it is, but maybe not in these, huh?
Oh, no, it's a good passing zone. So you come off that corner pretty straight, but it's about getting the braking just right. It's really easy to drive in a little bit too deep and lock up the front tires and slide on out. So if you got somebody on the outside of you, it's a good chance you might wipe them out with you. And like I said, turn 4, turn 10, obviously down the straightaway, those are going to be the key passing points to watch.
I'll be honest with you, I have done so many MX-5 races that I've called here. When I was watching practice in these Dolores, I was actually looking down for the playback control to make sure I wasn't on like fast forward. As these cars, man, they really get around this track. Lap times of about 1:12. It is quick.
Yeah, it is. And I did a few laps. I was only in the 114s, and I was wondering where they were finding it all the time. But the car handles really good there. A lot of downforce. That's why you can go through turn 1 flat out. We should see a good race today.
And if the track looks narrow, well, it is kind of narrow, isn't it?
Well, it's kind of an old school track. You know, it's built a little bit long time ago, and so it's a little bit narrow than most, but there is some room to pass. So I don't think that's going to be an issue as they come through the last corner here, lined up. Pace cars in.
Olivia Newton-John pulls the pace car down pit lane. We're all gamers, and HyperX is always ready to game. Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart full throttle now through Doohan, the right-hander. It is Blocker out in front. Karam right behind. Karam goes underneath it. Woo! And he takes over the lead. The blue car of Blocker now falls to second. Chin, Kinsella, and Fowler in fifth. The excitement starts right away.
Yeah, Karam he just chopped the nose off of Adam Blocker right off. He couldn't even get much closer than that. That was pretty aggressive on lap one. But Karam in the lead. Here comes Adam Blocker under braking into turn 4 the first time. Andrew Kinsella falling back to 4th. Looks like everybody's... Oh, we got one guy in the grass there in the midfield.
And we're looking at Larkamp making a run. They are side by side for 5th position right now. Behaved up front. We got to get this sorted out as they go up into Lukey Heights, and choosing valor and discretion, they had to figure out how to do that, was Chris Fowler, as now Stefan Larkamp up into 5th position where he qualified. He gets it back, but all that battling has allowed the front 4 to run away.
Yeah, you can see already they've already completed one lap. The first 4 are all single file. Back there, it's double file. These guys are racing hard, trying to get their position as they come up the front straightaway. Long straightaway drafts. You can see them weaving back and forth, trying to break that draft. And it's going to be tight going into turn 3 here, looking in about the 6th position.
And it's important to be up front, but the action is right here. That's Brian Beard in 7th. Brian Yosick chasing him down. This train also contains Matt Taylor, Matt Damon, Nathan Lewis, a rookie. The 2 guys back there, Aaron Morgan is under attack from Brian Carey. This is really exciting as they head down into Honda.
Yeah, they all stack up. But once again, it's first gear corner. It's rare that you see a first gear corner in IndyCar race. There's 2 of them here. So you really got to get that thing low down. You're topped out in 5th gear. Oh, we got a spin coming out of, ooh, spin and a flipper there. A bunch of people going off.
It is really, after the accident, they really piled into it. Let's see if we can find out who started it. Our director had it.
Yeah, you can see somebody goes off the grass. Yeah, somebody got off the grass and somebody had a bat check up and it caused a big accident. And then everybody had nowhere to go, and that goes down to that. Yeah.
Up front, they are racing. We'll go ahead and give you a rundown of the drivers that got caught up in that one, but it was a handful. Karam out in front now, his lead by about 0.3 of a second. He is being stalked by Adam Blocker.
Yeah, we got a good train of 4 cars here, and then a good gap back to 5th. That wreck kind of separated everybody out, but Sage Karam took that lead pretty aggressively on lap 1. But Adam Blocker's not letting him get away, and then you got Chin and Andrew Kinsella just kind of shadowing them at the moment. We've got a long ways to go, guys.
As we ride on board with the leader, let me set this up big picture for you. Karam leading in the points. Blocker sitting 3rd in the points. Chin is back in 5th. And, of course, Kinsella racing 4th on the track is 2nd in the points right now. You're saying, Soup, who's missing? Well, that's Connor Harrington. Remember, he had that end-of-line penalty to serve. We'll keep an eye on him as he tries to work his way through the field. He is back in 19th position. I think he was able to avoid all the nonsense that happened in front of him.
Yeah, he's done a good job working for 31st, 19th, and that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to be patient. He's not going to win the race, but he can move up and maybe get into the top 10.
Now, we talked about this rookie earlier. This is Chris Fowler. He is chasing Stefan Larkamp. Larkamp was able to get around him as they race side by side going up into Lukey Heights. Since then, Larkamp has been able to hold him off, but Fowler would like to get it done. Larkamp qualified 5th. Fowler was 6th.
And right behind them, we got another pack of cars. We got Brian Beard leading, Matt Taylor, Martinez, Morgan, Nathan Lewis, Brian Yosick. These guys are all stacking up. There you go on screen, stacking up into turn 4. That's where it's all going to happen.
Pa, baby. Boom, pa, pa, as the accordion effect was in play right there. Let's keep an eye on Nathan Lewis. No, actually, it's Aaron Morgan, car number 48. He is hungry. Somebody didn't feed him his morning Australian breakfast here, because he is really working on the back of Damon Martinez.
Yeah,
trying everything he can.
He is that,
yeah.
But Nathan Lewis is trying to go around the outside at turn 10, and now they got to get that good run up the front straightaway. So I think we're going to see a little action. Pretty easy corner right here, this last corner, but you got to get that drive all the way up front and get that draft. We do have a pass with Matt Taylor trying to go around the outside of Brian Beard into turn 1.
Here you go. That is Beard. Now Beard's going to be on the outside, and the pass is going to be finished as Matt Taylor gets that done. So Taylor now up into 7th. Beard falls down a position. Up front, they are racing quickly, but they are well behaved. The action is back here. That includes those two guys, Martinez, Morgan. Look at this dive down in there. My goodness, took it in deeper than Buddha's belly button. Off in the grass goes Brian Yazik. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, Brian Yazik just couldn't get stopped. He was on the outside, just couldn't get stopped enough and just kind of washed out. No harm, no foul. Lost a little bit of space, but he didn't lose a position. Although, actually, he did, because I think. No, he didn't. Actually, he fought that position off on Adam Frazier. I thought he was going to get that spot, but he didn't.
We're looking at the battle for 9th. That is Morgan, Martinez, and then Nathan Lewis, the rookie. Nathan side by side now on Martinez. He'll have the momentum as he got a real good drive on the inside. It is full speed now. Let's see what happens. It's the right-hander of Duhan. Can he finish the job? The pass is made by Lewis. Great racing in the back half of the top 10.
Yeah, the key is going around the outside of turn 1, so you have the position in turn 2. Naaman Martinez thought about sticking his nose up there in turn 2, but he thought better of it and backed out a little bit. These guys are battling very hard and very clean, too.
And we are jumping around, but we're going to go up front because while they are racing behave, they are very close. Karam, Blocker, and look at the job that Joshua Chin is doing, staying right with those 3 guys. Try as he might, Andrew Kinsella working as hard as he can not to lose touch with the front 3.
Yeah, Andrew has dropped off a little bit. I don't know if he made a mistake, but these 3 have all stayed line astern. Joshua Chin doing a good job. Oh, Sage gets a little loose coming onto the straightaway out of that left-hander. He's going to lose a little bit of momentum. But I don't think Adam Blocker's looking to take the lead. He's a good, savvy driver, and he's all about saving fuel.
It's there if he wants it.
As I say it, he's going to go to the outside. He's going to back off, just kind of push Sage Karam a little bit harder into turn 3.
Coming out of the pits right now, our spotlighted driver, Brian Greenlee. Glad he brought it back out on the track because we want to talk about him a little bit later. Let's take this opportunity to bring up our race analysis to see how far we have to go, how far can we go. You see it right there, the laps of, 45, it looks like that said, and the 46, as it was a little swamp, was a little small, but the pit window about 17. 2 stops is what we're looking at.
Yeah, 2 stops, tires every time. I don't think tires are going to be a problem. It's just more about just racing hard and taking what you can get.
Drivers who had trouble: Jason Galvin, Tyler Graff, Brian Carey, and we saw Brian Greenlee bring that car back out there. I believe 3 cars are out of the race. Ricky, here we go. Back to this battle in the middle. Go, Hurt.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just watching this myself. P8, 8, 9, and 10. These guys are tight. Aaron Morgan and Brian Beard and Nathan Lewis. These guys are battling really, really, really good and tight and close. But there's going to be something happening here, so we might want to keep an eye on this pack.
Matt Taylor in 7th said, "I've had enough of that," as he has pulled out in front of these guys, leaving the battle really starting back there in 8th with Morgan ahead of Beard, Lewis in the mix, and Martinez in there as well. They got themselves about a 3-second gap before you get to Brian Yazik. We talked about Yazik in car number 55. He had that off in Honda. He's trying to make up for that when he's back in 12th right now.
Oh, there goes Nathan Lewis taking the position from Brian Beard. So Nathan Lewis, our rookie, one of our rookie year championship contenders, and Damon Martinez is going to take another position. So Brian Beard losing 2 spots in 2 corners.
I was listening to a broadcast on GSRC, and Aussie and Pohaka made a great statement. He says sometimes the racing is more exciting mid-pack than it is up front because the guys in the mid-pack aren't quite as fast. They leave a little bit, Richie, on the table. The guys up front have it figured out. There's not a lot of room to make a pass, but When you get back to the guys that just don't quite have the figured out as well, sometimes it's more exciting. That's a good point I thought he made.
Yeah, usually in the mid-pack, you're just a little bit more desperate, and you just got to take what you can get. Those guys up front got to just know that they just got to go to the distance, and they take it a little easier until we get to the end.
Good racing. Good racing so far. Oh, our spotlighted driver. Ryan is not easy being Greenlee. He fell to the curse of the spotlighted driver. He may be as big as an ocean, as important as a mountain, or as tall as the tree, but he didn't get the finish he wanted today. Ryan Greenlee calls it an Australian afternoon.
Connor Harrington doing a good job from 31st up to 16th. So he stayed out of the mix. He's right behind Dustin Wardlow, and according to my screen, he's missing part of his front wing. You can see on that broadcast right there, he's missing the left front wing. That is definitely not going to help him, and he's waiting for that pit stop as soon as possible to get that fixed.
Now the pit window is big, so even though he can said you can go 17 laps, if he can subtract 17 and 17, that's 34 from the 46 we have to go. He can come in a little bit earlier.
And they got a couple laps to give, but not too many. We're on working lap 10, so he's got to go a couple more laps before he can come in. He's not losing too much time. He's running around 1:14 ones. Connor Harrington's about a second faster.
We're going to leave Harrington, who is trying to race the leaders for the championship. It continues to be very close up here. Blocker, Chin, Karam, Blocker, and Chin. Let's take a quick look at the overall track. It's a while before they're going to see any lap traffic. Right now, Karam just going into corner number 10. There is one car up in front of him that's struggling a little bit. That's Chris Stoper. He must have had an off. He's brought it back out there. Still on the lead lap is car number 13, but well off the pace.
I think right now Adam Blocker and Chin are just kind of chilling out. I mean, they're driving hard to stay with Sage, but they're not looking to pass him. I mean, if they can save an extra lap by saving fuel, that's going to play a part in the end. They have to take less fuel on that second stop. So I think these guys are playing it safe. They have no pressure from behind. Andrew Kinsella has dropped off quite a bit. He's a good 4 seconds behind Joshua Chin, but he's got 2 seconds up on Chris Fowler, so he's just kind of on his own island.
And once Fowler was able to get around Larkamp, he wasn't able to close the gap much on Kinsella, who seems pretty comfortable in 4th position. Director, let's go back to the action in 7th. This is Matt Taylor now. I thought he had run away from him. Not the case. Aaron Morgan looking on him as they head down into, let's all go pa one more time.
There you go, turn 4.
There it is.
And he just, Matt Taylor locked up the brakes a little bit, gave the opportunity to Aaron Morgan to go around the inside. Now he's got the outside line. He takes that position as they head up to Mookie Heights. So move Aaron Morgan up to 7th spot. And now Matt Taylor's got to worry about Nathan Lewis. These 4 have been together the whole time, and they've been switching positions back and forth.
Exactly. They have been together, but not in the same order for sure. As now they go through the second hairpin that we talked about. That's the right-hander. I think it's called the MG corner, if I want to be precise. Now Richie says you're flat on the throttle here. Hard to imagine. There they go.
Yeah, they're basically in 6th gear at this point, all the way up the front straightaway, all the way through turn 1, and then just a really questionable braking zone into turn 3 because it is a blind entry. It goes over a rise, and it does tighten up. So the lines vary quite a bit.
Boy, nobody really appreciates, for a guy who is talent challenged like myself or a newcomer just getting on iRacing, nothing harder than to find the apex on a like a tightening radius corner.
Yes.
Richie,
especially when it's
pros
blind.
have trouble with that too? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the hardest corner to get right because usually when it's a late apex, that means you got to unwind and accelerate right away. So that's really important, and it does take a little time trying to get that right. And these corners, some of that, like turn 3, is blind, so you don't really see it, and you just need to practice a lot.
Very good racing. Let's look at 13th position. This is Adam Frazier in the car number 17.
Oh, we got some contact right there on screen. That was Nathan Lewis, I think, getting into the back of Matt Taylor. as they went into that turn 10 tight corner off of Mookie Heights. And no real damage, but it definitely takes Matt Taylor out of that pack as they come down the hill. Ooh, Matt Taylor checked up, and then Nathan Lewis just kind of caught running to the back of him. Just kind of a racing incident there. No malicious intent.
Matt Taylor took it through the Australian alfalfa, got it back out on the track. He sorts himself out into 15th position.
Yeah.
Back to that battle. It's still fun. We're looking at Martinez.
Yeah, they're coming through. Looks like they're coming into turn 4 there. Damon Martinez in the 8th position. Nathan Lewis in the 9th position. And boy, that was close right there. He was right underneath. He couldn't get any closer than that. But now look at all the cars stacked up to behind them. It used to be a group of 4.
Yeah.
Aaron Morgan is kind of checked out from this pack. And now because of that incident earlier in turn 10, we have basically a group of 6. So we got Lewis, Martinez, Beard, Yazik, and Frazier all fighting for that 8th position as they come down the hill once again. Boy, these laps go fast. And then come on to the front straightaway.
It is indeed Frazier and Razmas. Those were the 2 drivers I wanted to take you to before we had that spin in Honda. Let's look at him right now. Let's look at Frazier. He is under attack from the rookie of Mike Razmas. Boy, he's right on him, and he moves to the outside. Is this doable? Is this how you do it?
Yeah, well, this is how you want to set it up. You want to go around the outside in turn 1, because no matter what, you have the inside for turn 2 and turn 3, basically. And that gives him the position. So move Mike Rasmus up to 12th spot. Nicely done.
Oh, that is totally opposite from what. And look at this 2x2 now going into Honda. On the inside, that's Martinez. Yeah. On the outside is Lewis. Go, Richie.
Yeah, I was going to say that's tight to go through their 2x2, but he's going to have to give up that position. Maybe I was going to notice that, say that Brian Yazik got a little bit sketchy going into turn 4. There into Honda, but he was able to hold on.
Oh,
oh no!
Get a gun.
No contact.
Lewis. Oh, he spins.
Yeah.
Like a,
and he takes out Yazik. And
slide
Yazik's
like a trombone on a tumbaga.
Oh man!
And I bet you Yazik saw it coming too. He was out there for a long time.
It looks like Nathan just kind of reacted to being too close and jerked the wheel, and boy, that's going to be, Yazik's not going to be happy about that. And Nathan Lewis, he's a Rookie of the Year contender. That's going to really hurt him in the points.
Oh, Brian, look to your left, baby. He's coming.
Never saw it coming. Never saw it coming.
My mom always said you can only dance the tango so long in the china shop before somebody breaks some porcelain. They were having fun, but their Australian morning again is over.
Yeah, unfortunately, just kind of a racing incident there, and Brian was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Up front, Sage Karam is checked out a little bit. Not a lot, but 0.6 of a second. And now Joshua Chin is all over the back of Adam Blocker with Nathan Lewis out. This is a really good opportunity for Chin to solidify that Rookie of the Year standings.
Our job here is not only to tell the race story, but the championship story as well, and all the carnage going on in the race that Connor Harrington has been able to avoid. Well, he has managed to pass his way up as we look at this here. Joshua Chin right on the back of actually has made the pass on the Blocker, moving now up into second.
Yeah, he got right in the draft, and then as he took the inside, it looks like Adam Blocker just kind of let him go. Adam Blocker's a smart racer. He's not the time to fight for second right now. Just kind of hang tight, wait for the race to play itself out. We got some pit stops happening.
We got Sam Ryman, Dustin Wardlow, Mark Cohn, the Watchman. Go, Richie.
I was going to say, I was watching Chin. He went off the track in Honda, but he's able to keep going, not lose the position. No big deal.
Yeah, they have not. They race in order, still Chin ahead of Blocker, but all their horseplay, they are now 1.3 seconds behind Karam. They got to be careful not to let him run away. Director, I want to drop back to 4th position. This has been a slow burn. Andrew Kinsella now. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. He was being chased, but it is Chris Stouffer. Kinsella still racing alone. That's Stouffer, who is 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down.
And the leaders are in. Well, 2 of the leaders. We got Sage and Chin in, but once again, Adam Blocker, I think he was saving fuel. He's going to go that 1 lap later, and that's going to help him later on the second stop. But Karam and Chin in.
They said you could go 17. Would not be surprised to see Blocker maybe even go another one right now. They are lined up nose to tail in pit lane. Karam has the preferred position. He is out first. Right behind him comes Joshua Chin.
Yeah, you did see some cars come out in front of them, so they're going to be in lap traffic. That's going to really hurt their out lap if they get stuck behind somebody, which is going to help Adam Blocker, who is all alone and able to run as fast as he can to try to do the undercut.
Brandon Linkemann is ahead of Karam by, I'd say, about 20 car lengths. I don't think it's going to be a factor. Let's see if Adam Blocker comes in this time. He heads down into the MG hairpin here, corner number 10. The car in front of him is George Anzaldo, racing in car number 6 in 23rd position. Let's see if Adam brings it in this time or if he indeed saved enough. Nope, here he comes. And Richie, you talked about it. It's a fun pit entrance here at Phillip. Oh, locks it up.
Yeah, you come in pretty hot, and then that pit speed cone is right there, so you got to really be careful. It's a narrow pit lane, too, so it's easy to go off in the grass. But that one extra lap is going to really help him on the next stop.
Okay. Linkemann now. I talked about Linkemann, and indeed, he was a factor, as he had a hard time getting out of the way. Karam got around him and really hurt Chin. Now out of the final corner is Karam. Blocker is still sitting. Karam is coming. Karam is gone. Could it be a speeding penalty for Adam Blocker?
It's got to be, because he's been sitting there way too long, so that's really going to throw his off. It's got to be a speeding penalty or something, because he was sitting there a long time.
You saw him lock it up. It's basically a bike path that they have you bring the car in, so he brought it in, locked it up, but I think he didn't get it slowed down enough. So that puts Karam out in front. Let me see if the pit stops have actually cycled through. They have indeed. Karam, Chin, and Kinsella. We're going to go to 9th position. Brian Beard, he's chasing Damon Martinez. These guys have been going at it. Mark Rasimas in there. And look at this. Now, this is Rasimas, Frazier, and there's Connor Harrington. He wants to make quick work. Harrington in the dark blue car. Dives it in tight. I think he's going to get the pass made. He does on Frazier. Gets the power down, and now it's off to Siberia.
Yeah, Connor Harrington is doing exactly what he needs to do. Run clean, run quick. Started 31st up to 12th at the moment. And he is doing what he needs to do to stay in this championship. That pit stop on Adam Blocker was 22.7 seconds, whereas Sage's was 8.9. So he definitely had a speeding penalty or something. He had to sit there, and that's going to kill his race.
Dropped him back into 6th position. He will be able to run down Stefan Larkamp, though, who races about 1.4 seconds ahead of him. Let's catch our breath and tell you how things are going here. I'm going to take them 2 at a time, then I'll let you go from 3rd position there, Richie. Out in front, it is Sage Karam. Out in front by a comfortable 1.6 seconds. He just worked his way around Ron Hacker. In 2nd position, it's Joshua Chin. Then it's a ways back, Richie, to your driver.
Yeah, Andrew Kinsella started 4th, sitting in 3rd. But he really hasn't had the pace of the leaders. He's 11.1 seconds back to Sage Karam. And then right behind him will be Chris Fowler, newcomer, doing a great job. Started 6th, sitting in 4th.
In 5th position, and Larkamp and Fowler have been together for most of the race. Stefan Larkamp, he's only back by a second, but he's got to hustle because Adam Blocker, who served that speeding penalty, is in 6th and closing in fast. Richie?
Aaron Morgan sitting in 7th, started 11th, was in that battle we were talking about earlier. He's separated himself out from Damon Martinez a little bit, so he's kind of alone. But Damon Martinez sitting in 8th. He's got a lot of cars right behind him. He's got Brian Beard sitting in 9th, then Mike Rasmus. Then we got Connor Harrington and Adam Frazier. A big pack there from those guys.
Indeed, Harrington now up to 11th, and he's got 2 drivers that he can get around quickly. Would not be surprised if he doesn't get around Rasmus and Beard here pretty quick. Let's continue through and see if we can get all the cars on the lead lap. We went to Adam Frazier. Let's go to car number 63, Samuel Ryman, racing in 13th position. Started in 10th, so he's fallen a few. He's out there all by himself. He's got about 2.5 seconds back to Matt Taylor. Richie, who you got in 15th?
15th, we got Dustin Wardlow, who had that wing damage earlier. He was able to get at the pit stop, get that changed. He's sitting pretty 17th out of, started 17th, sitting in 15th. He's kind of alone right now. He's got Matt Taylor a little bit in front of him, but nobody behind. And that car behind him is Chris Lanini, once again, kind of separated out. 41 seconds back from the leader, but he's still on the lead lap.
Still a few more to go. The Watchman in car number 39 racing in 17th position. He's got a comfortable cushion back to George Anzaldo in car number 6. That cushion about 10 seconds until we get to Anzaldo. Richie, 19th?
Yeah, these cars are all separated out quite a bit. Not much racing going on, just kind of holding steady. But that's Mike Rigby in 19th. Right behind him is Christopher in 20th. I'll just cover the rest of the cars here on the lead lap. We got Scott Holmes in 21st, Joe Branch in 22nd, but right behind him, he's got Tony Schowen in 23rd. And then the first car lap down will be Ron Packer. So these guys are doing their thing out there on their own, running a clean race, but they got to hustle because they're not far behind getting lapped from Sage Karam.
We're going to look at this battle here for 10th position.
Yeah, it's not much for 10th, but right behind Connor Ayrton, Mike Rasmus and Adam Frazier going side by side through turn 5, heading up to Lukey Heights.
And Frazier making
right
a move.
behind them is Frazier, and right behind them is the number 77. But I think he's a lap down. No, that's Adam Frazier. Sorry, that's 17. I don't have my glasses on. I'm sorry.
Let's go up a couple spots to car number 3 and 8 because I think this is going to be 8th position. Going to be pretty short-lived. This is Dana Martinez. Look at that dark blue car of Connor Harrington. He has the speed. Now look at this. Martinez makes him go to the inside, but it doesn't matter because the momentum from Harrington, he gets it done and dusted before they get into Dillon.
Yeah, Harrington definitely has the speed. He had that penalty. Otherwise, he'd be up front. But he's making his way up there. Started 31st, running 9th, running a very clean race. Just kind of doing his thing. And I said earlier, he should be able to get up in the top 10. And I'm going to change that. He might be able to get up into the top 5. He's only about 10 seconds behind the 5th place car.
Let's talk about the driver in 5th position. That is Blocker right now. And look who he is behind. That is Fowler. These guys are going to be fun to watch. Blocker making up. He's got to be steaming a little bit as they come down into corner number 10.
I'm sure Adam Blocker's not happy. He had the strategy just right. Made a little bit of mistake into the pits and had to sit a penalty. And he's going to be driving just hair on fire, trying to get as much as he can because he knows that Sage is leading and the championship is almost to the end. So everything matters at this point. Here comes Adam Blocker. He's going to go to the inside of Fowler into turn 1. He's going to get that position pretty easily. And he's going to try to chase down Andrew Kinsella at this moment. He's about 2 seconds behind.
Richie, I'm a poker player. In poker, they call it being on tilt. I guess in racing it's called the red mist. I know it happens in sim racing, but how in the real world racing, do you get off your game sometimes by being upset? Is that something that really happens, or is the realization of making a mistake being so costly?
You can get totally out of whack and just kind of go nuts out there, and that's where your engineer and crew chief have got to get online and go, hey, you guys got to chill out. We got a long ways to go. Just put your laps in. But absolutely, emotions run high, especially when you know you made the mistake and you ruined it. So you're trying to make up everything you can. And what you don't want to do is let that mistake turn into another mistake. And Adam Blocker's not that guy. He's pretty smart, pretty savvy. I mean, he lost, he's sitting in 4th now. He really only lost 1 position, but he lost the track position as far as getting the win.
Yeah, he lost the chance for the win. Of course, we have a long race to go. Anything could happen. And let's talk about something that could happen. Let's go to car number 93. This is Joshua Chin, the driver in 2nd. He just worked his way around Christopher. I'll tell you what, Richie, I'm actually excited to see lap traffic being a factor here. One of the things I like. Coming up next on Joe Branch. Now, Karam has already made his way around Joe Branch. Let's stay and see what Big Joe does as Joshua Chin comes in. Joe, a veteran, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem, but sometimes you're just in a position where you just can't get out of the way, and that could play a part. You know, Sage has got a good, healthy 2.2 second lead on Josh Chin, but that could go away really quickly if he catches somebody just at the wrong time.
Chin gets that done. It is a mile back to Andrew Kinsella, but we talked about what Kinsella has been doing. Even though he might not get the win, he's going to get good points again if he can keep it going.
Yeah, and anything can happen. He's sitting there in the championship. I mean, Sage could get hit by somebody or have a problem in the pits just like Adam Blocker. So he's doing a good job. I mean, sometimes you got to run with what you got. If you don't have that front leading pace, you got to just be safe and take what you can get.
All right, let's go to ninth again. I believe that Harrington in eighth. I expect Connor to run away from these guys. But this is Damon Martinez and Mike Rasmus. These guys back here have really put on the show. Not quite as many as there were before, Richie, because we lost a few due to attrition.
We lost a few, and pit stops kind of separated out. But this battle between in 8th, 9th, and 10th has been going on non-stop since the start of the race. Aaron Morgan kind of separated himself out a little bit in 7th. But these three guys, we have Harrington, Martinez, and Rasmus, and they're battling it out pretty hard. We're only lap 25. We're just barely halfway, just a little past halfway. One more pit stop to come, so I don't think this battle is going to stop anytime soon.
And we talked about what Harrington has done, working his way through the field from 31st to 8th. We shouldn't overlook what Mike Rasmus has done from 30th to 10th. He's been right there as well as he battles with Damon Martinez. They work through. Let's stay with these guys a little bit. They go down into 10. This downhill braking.
Yeah, it's really tricky. You come over that hill at about 4th gear, and then all of a sudden, boom, here's the braking zone. And then you got to get all the way down to 1st. So I found that really tricky to get the braking just right without locking up that right front tire. And then it leads onto this long straightaway, which is so key, as Mike Rasmus is right behind Damon Martinez. And Connor Harrington's not very far in front of these guys either. So we got a little train here, a 3-car train going into turn 3.
Unfortunately, we don't have the technology to show you the push to pass. We don't know if Harrington's used them all up or not to get where he has been. But Richie, let's not take push to pass. Is the draft something that you can play? You get a slingshot in these cars?
Absolutely. You can see him going down the straightaway. If you just get a good run, you might not even need the push to pass, and you just get the draft. And at the start of the race, you saw some of these guys weaving back and forth to break the draft. I think that will be a little bit more important later on. Right now, it's just a matter of just running clean. But, just remember, use that push to pass. It uses a lot of fuel, so that could matter as we get closer to the end. If you have to make a pit stop and take more fuel than the guy behind you, you are going to lose that spot in the pits. And Mike Rasmus, man, he is all over the back of Damon Martinez there.
Some of those Dougie Beard camera shots really illustrates the elevation changes here. Is this kind of a rolling track?
Very rolling track. They got a lot of heat. That going into Mookie Heights there, they come straight up the hill and then it drops right down. It's almost similar to what you get the corkscrew at Laguna Seca. Maybe not as long, but it's just as steep.
We've been jumping around a lot, so it's nice just to settle down a bit and watch these guys go at it. I appreciate this when I'm watching the race sometimes, just to settle down and watch these guys work down into 10. Boy, I tell you what, I expected Connor Harrington to pull away from these guys, but once he got around Martinez and Rasmus, he hasn't been able to leave them.
Oh, I agree. He charged. Was able to leave this group and kind of separate himself into 7th, but that battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th is tight, although Connor Harrington is starting to pull out just a little bit as Damon Martinez really having to, they go around the lap car there. Wow, that's a bad position there, but they go around the lap car, but Damon Martinez has really had to work hard to hold that position behind, keep Mike Rasmus behind him, and he's lost touch a little bit with Connor Harrington. He's going to lose the draft here.
All right, while we were on that battle, we must have missed something, because now I look in 3rd position. It is Adam Blocker. If I can read my clipboard notes, he was behind Kinsella. Oh, our director, Stacey, has it. Let's take a look at this, because this is not only for a pass on track, but it was also a pass in the championships here. Blocker in the blue car, Kinsella right ahead of him. And there you go.
Yeah, Andrew Kinsella drove a little bit hard into turn 10. Like I said, it's hard to get that thing stopped. And then Adam Blocker was able to get on the inside, and Andrew Kinsella looks like he just kind of let him go, and he'll take what he can get.
All right, so let's not be fooled by that again. Let's see the interval between Chidnow and Blocker. Oh, man, it's 13 seconds. It's going to take I don't care how fast blocker, it's going to take him a while to get to Chin. Chin comes across the start-finish line right now as he's working lap number 29. We're getting close to that second set of stops. Let's look at our leader for a minute because our contract calls to put the camera on the leader every so often. It is Sage Karam. My gosh, I talked about the dominance that he has shown in on road courses here in the iRacing Lionheart IndyCar series. Feeling very comfortable racing in that HyperX onboard camera. Man, you want yourself a good pair of headphones. Why don't you check out HyperX? They got lots of good stuff, not just headphones, all sorts of stuff that you can go to there. If you need some racing equipment, you are watching the right series, baby, because go check out the sponsor links in the Lionheart IndyCar series. Lionheart Racing, let me get this right, LionheartRacingSeries.com. Let's go to second position real quick, Director. This is Chin on the back of Scott Holmes. Let's see what Scott does here as he's going to try to get out of the way. I think Chin's going to catch him at a good time. Coming out of Swan, this should be easy picking for the rookie. 2 car lengths back, 1 car length back, dump a duck into the inside. Holmes happy to let him by, and that's how you do it. Let's go look at 9th position again. Harrington has pulled away a bit as we thought. So now we got Damon Martinez in 9th and Mike Rasmuth in 10th. Try as he might, Rasmuth can't get around him, but it's good racing.
Yeah, it is good racing. Damon Martinez doing a good job holding them off. Once again, give it, Damon started 12th, but Rasmuth started 30th. He's done a great job getting up into that top 10. But he's trying as hard as he can to get around Damon Martinez, and unfortunately, these guys battling like that has given Connor Harrington just a little bit of a breathing room, but not much. If Connor Harrington slips up, here comes, man, Damon Martinez was late on the brakes there. Just as I said, he had a little breathing room. That was gone.
Where to watch. We're going to jump you around some more, but only 1 position back. We're going to go to Brian Beard, car number 5 in 11th position. On him, tighter than a scuba suit on a fat man, is Adam Frazier. He has been working on him. As I say that, the gap now opens up to about 7 or 8 car lengths. But Frazier has had the pace to run him down. He gives a little bit of breathing room right now to Beard as they go down into this MG corner here. Get it woed up.
Yeah, Beard was earlier running up in that pack we were just talking about, and then we had that little kind of get together in that tight turn 4, and it dropped him back a little bit. Started 8th down to 11th, and trying to make up a position here. And he's gotten in front of Adam Frazier. Now he's just got to chase down Mike Rasmus. But Mike Rasmus is in the pit lane. It's a little early. Well, I guess 16 laps to go. But he's in the pit lane.
The first guy to really bite the bullet there as he comes in.
Yeah, I mean, he might have been using his push to pass to get up to that position. So it might have kind of played his card. But he's good to go to the end. We should start seeing some of the leaders come in, maybe a lap or 2.
I want to take you to Aaron Morgan, car number 48 in 7th position. Why do I care about this? Well, he's got last round's winner, Tony Schowen, out in front of him. But what really concerns Morgan is what's coming up behind him. Connor Harrington, my gosh, he is closing the gap. He's only about, let's call it 1.5 seconds back as he is a-coming. Pit stops are coming. That could be the saving grace here for Morgan to even get in and out. Otherwise, he's going to be really in trouble.
Yeah, Aaron had a little bit of a gap there, but these guys are starting to come up. And there goes Connor Harrington. He's going into the pits. So he's going to pit a little bit earlier than these guys, try to undercut him a little bit. Damon Martinez is going to stay out, so that's going to give a little breathing room to Aaron Morgan as he's going around Tony Schowen. And he's going to make that pass cleanly.
That'll be fun to watch when Morgan actually does come in to see if Harrington can do the undercut on that one. Our leader working lap number 32. He's got 4.2 seconds now between Karam back to Chin with no lap traffic between them. It could be pit stop time this time. Let's see if Karam brings it in. And he does. Let's see if Chin brings it in too.
Got to get it slowed down. Don't make that mistake. Get it slowed down. Looks like Chin's going to go around one more time. He's going to do the undercut, but Sage Karam, this race is his to lose if he just has a clean stop. he's got the speed and he's got the space to just kind of come back out and just take it to the end.
Indeed. As we watch those guys come in, I can tell you that Morgan, working lap number 32, he's going to bring it in right now. So what we will do, because this will be fun to watch, these were the closest cars on track. Let's go ahead and see if we can pick up Connor Harrington, car number 44 in 10th position. Going up to Lukey Heights. Harrington was right behind Morgan, came in early. Harrington, the veteran of a couple seasons now. We'll see if Morgan has his fuel calculations figured out.
Yeah, Aaron's in the box, up on the jacks, down on the jacks, and he's away. He's definitely going to stay in front of Connor Harrington. And here comes Harrington up the front straightaway, but Aaron Morgan's away and gone.
Coming out now, he has Ron Hacker in front of him, but indeed, Aaron is out in front. So if Harrington's going to do it, he's going to have to do it the hard way on the track.
Yeah, Aaron gained a little bit of space there on Connor Harrington. He was a little closer than that before the pit stops. And our leader, Joshua Chin, is in.
All right, just for academic purposes, let's go ahead and pick up Sage Karam. We expect him to go around and wave at Chin while he's in pit lane. Stefan Larkamp pulls off, making it clear sailing for Karam.
And just to note that Adam Blocker is still on track, so he is the new leader. He's probably going to have to come in on the next lap, but he will have to take a little bit less fuel. That's going to help close that gap up a little bit. But Sage, I think, is going to hold on to the lead after this.
Gap from Karam to Chin about 6.3 seconds. Should be time for Blocker to come in this time. Now, it's hard to say. Maybe Karam and Chin came in before their tank was empty. Maybe Blocker's getting good fuel mileage. Maybe he can come in here for a little shorter stop. We'll find out in a minute.
Well, he only needs about 12 laps of fuel, so it's definitely going to be a shorter stop, but he's coming in at turn 10 at the moment. Sage Karam looks like he is... Where is he on the track? Yeah, it's going to be Adam Blocker's going to get past because Sage Karam's not that far behind him. And Adam Blocker's in.
Let's look at Andrew Kinsella right now. Get a quick replay. He was right behind Joe Branch. I don't know if he helped Joe off the track or if he scared Joe off the track. I think maybe he got a little bit of assistance, and we're talking about Joe Branch's. He kind of got pruned right at the trunk here. Stay with this one as they come down. I believe it was Siberia. Should be right here. Boink.
Yeah, looks like a little bit of help. Adam Blocker's off and away, but he has been passed by Karam and Chin. So he's back. Yeah. He's basically back to where he was, position-wise, but not track distance-wise. So he's able to make his way back up to third, but he's not anywhere near able to challenge for the lead.
So now with just 12 laps to go, everyone's pretty much settled into position. One thing we're going to watch is Morgan, see if he can stay ahead of Harrington. That gap about 1.2 seconds. Richie, as so often happens after the second pit stop, he's kind of settled down a bit.
Yeah, everybody's separated out. We had some good battles early on. Probably the closest battle I can see right now is between 11th and 12th with Adam Frazier and Brian Beard. Matt Taylor's not that well. He's about 4 seconds behind. But really, this is the closest battle on the track.
Let's go ahead and stay on this one. We'll watch Brian Beard go all the way around up through Lukey Heights. See if he can get the pass made down into the southern loop. He's about 10 car lengths back, but I believe he is faster. Coming down into this downhill hairpin, the right-hander.
Yeah, here's where he's wants to make his time. Yeah, he wants to make his time right here and get in that draft. Long straightaway. If he has any push to pass left, he needs to use it. Try to get that position going into turn 2.
It's about 2 seconds up to Mike Rasmus there for the next spot. Beard a little too far back, but he was able to... Boy, he is right there about 0.3 of a second, so we'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, the next straightaway is coming up right now out of turn 2. Nice little run into turn 4. This is that heavy braking zone we talked about earlier. I don't think he's close enough just yet, but he's definitely creeping in on Adam Frazier, and he might have a chance on the next lap coming up the front straightaway.
We're going to take you to 6th position, car number 62. Here's a guy who I thought was safe in position, but that's not the case. This could really be heating up. I'm talking about Stefan Larkamp. He is 6th, but he's only a second up on Aaron Morgan. And of course, the faster of all 3 of those will be Connor Harrington as soon as Harrington gets around Joe Branch. This time Branch is able to be lapped without being pushed off into the beach. I don't know if Larkamp has the legs to stay in front of Morgan. I don't know if Morgan has the legs to stay in front of Harrington. This could be fun here with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, we're getting near the end. These laps are going by quick with only 1:13 seconds. It's like a big go-kart track. Watching Adam Frazier and Brian Beard. Adam Frazier's still not close enough to make the pass. He is getting closer, but he's not close enough to make that move to break into that top 11. But we'll keep an eye on that as we go. The other battles are all kind of separated out a little bit. Sage Karam way out front. He's got a almost 7-second lead on Josh Chin. Adam Blocker's another good 12 seconds back. Andrew Kinsella, he's been kind of by himself. Been a lonely race for Andrew Kinsella in 4th place. Still good finish for him. Chris Fowler doing a good job, but he's all by himself as well. Probably the next battle, if we look at it, we got Stefan Larkamp and Aaron Morgan for 6th and 7th. Aaron Morgan's doing a good job. He started 11th and slowly catching up to Stefan Larkamp. And I think that's bringing along Connor Harrington. Not quite close enough for the pass, but it is definitely tightening up.
Larkamp trying to stay ahead of Morgan, who's trying to stay ahead of Harrington. Harrington probably the most desperate of the 3, as he is still in the championship hunt here, and any points he can pick up here by getting around Larkamp and Morgan. Boy, a 6th place finish would sure be a little bit sweeter than 8th place.
Yeah, I mean, even though 8th place is great starting from 31st, and he missed a lot of those wrecks early on, so he's had a pretty good race. But I think he's had the speed definitely to run up in that top 5.
And don't be counting your chickens, or I guess gathering your chickens if you've watched a lot of GSRC broadcasts here, because there's still lap traffic here that Sage Karam's got to go through. We're going to look at this battle for 9th position. Martinez ahead of Rasmus. Boy, Rasmus, what a great race. Up 20 spots into 10th.
And he's been hounding Martinez for a long time. Martinez has done a good job holding him off, but it's definitely kept him busy. And unfortunately, that's kind of helped them lose track of Connor Harrington, although he's only about 3 seconds ahead. But Rasmus has definitely kept Martinez honest.
Disappointing finish for some big names, maybe especially Brian Yosik, who we saw get caught up in that incident early on. Look at this. Here it comes.
Rasmus. Is he going to get that? Oh, jeez. Oh, they're still there. That's as close as you can get. And he tried twice, and David Martinez held tight. He's going to have the right line, though. David Martinez going into turn 4. I don't think you can go around the outside, Mike, but he's trying. He's trying real hard, but he's definitely in position to work on that spot coming up over Mookie Heights into turn 10, which is coming up pretty soon.
Rasmus takes a wide entrance into the corner number 6. Let's stay on this 2 car lengths back. I think he'll be in position. Richie, getting powered down a problem out of like 10. Is that something you worry about?
I didn't do enough running to worry about it. I think it's more about getting the braking done, but the car seemed really good. They had a good setup for this car. I don't see a lot of people breaking loose coming off that corner, but he's definitely in the draft coming up the front straightaway, so he's probably going to be able to make a move here. And you can go either way, left or right. And particularly you want to go to the outside so that, he's going to get the inside here. If he doesn't get it done, though, it's going to give David Martinez that position going into turn 2. And David's still there, and he's going to take it. Like I say, he's going to force the issue.
Boy, I think Rasmus could have closed the door, but he was safe. He was clear, but then he doesn't do it. Whoa, boy, as he puts the right side tires off into the grass. Now he comes up. He'll be on the outside this time. He has momentum. Let's see if he closes the door. Nope, he will not do it. How about a tip of the hat to Mike, not chopping the nose off of Damon Martinez, and he'll have to try it again.
Yeah, I know, and good job on Damon Martinez on those brakes, not locking up and sliding into Mike. This is a great battle here for that 9th position. Mike's going to just try to go around the outside here. They're going to come up to Mookie Heights, and he's going to have the, oh boy, it looked like they had a little contact. I think I would wait till the front straightaway here and try to get that good run, make the easy pass.
I don't care what class of car you're racing. Too wide through Lukey Heights. Oh, that's questionable. This way seems to be much easier. Now let's see what line Martinez takes this time. He's going to leave the inside open. That's what he did last time. That's going to put him on the preferred position into the southern loop, assuming the pass isn't made by Rasmus before he gets there. And Mike waits.
Yeah, he's going to try. He's going to try to go around. It's not going to happen on the outside of turn 2, but Damon didn't give him that opportunity to go around the outside. So we're right back into that same position. And not far behind is Adam Frazier. So these guys battling like this is bringing another car into the mix, maybe. As Mike tries to once again go on the outside of turn 4, really tough to do. Mike's a little bit loose on the gas there, getting up on the curb. But boy, Damon Martinez doing a good job, not making any mistakes. It's hard to do.
Mike, we stayed on you long enough. You couldn't get it done. We got to go somewhere else. 5th position, car number 20, Chris Fowler. Look who has run him down. This is Stefan Larkamp.
Oh!
There goes one, and there goes Aaron Morgan. Now that's going to put Fowler in the clutches of the dark blue car of Connor Harrington. Harrington with momentum. Boy, Fowler trying to use his Flintstone speed. I don't know if Harrington's going to force the issue here or not. We got ourselves a race here.
Yeah, unfortunately, it looks like Chris just got on the gas a little too hard and then kind of 50-50 rail job over the curb. Didn't really go off, but he lost a couple of positions, a lot of momentum, so he's not going to be happy about that. Move Aaron Morgan and Stefan Larkamp up a couple of spots. And we have a 4-car battle here for 5th spot.
You know, it was just a while ago I was talking about Harrington maybe getting 6th position. Well, now all of a sudden he's eyeing a top 5 if he can get up to Larkamp. Nice race from Connor.
Yeah, I said it earlier. But as pace he was going, he could get to the top 5, but he's got to get by just a couple more people.
Yeah. You can see on the tower, not much happening there from the front 3. Even back to Kinsella. This is where the action is. We're going to focus our attention here until Sage Karam comes out of a Swan to look for the checkered flag.
Yeah, we got 2 good battles here with Larkamp, Morgan and Fowler. There goes Connor, but not too far behind them. That battle with Martinez, Rasmus, Frazier is also going well. But Connor Harrington, move him up. He's doing a great job. He's going to be happy. No matter what, he's going to be happy with this run.
Indeed. So up to 7th and with a legitimate shot for a top 5. So, Richie, let's go ahead and check back in on the other guys. This is Rasmus and Martinez.
Oh, and Rasmus has gotten by Martinez. Yep. I missed it somewhere, but that battle is ended.
Except for Adam Frazier now in the mix.
Oh, is that Chris Fowler who spun out in front of him?
Chris Fowler. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like Chris Fowler is going to come into turn 4 and locks up the brakes. Looks like he was almost about to run into the back of Connor Harrington, locks up the brakes to miss him, spins around, has to spin around again, and then there goes those other guys. So he's going to be disappointed. Had a good race, but a couple mistakes here has cost him about 5 positions.
So Harrington had just made that pass on Fowler, and we talked about losing momentum. So now here we go back. This is Larkamp under attack from Aaron Morgan.
And under attack from Harrington. So there's Harrington sees that top 5 spot 2 in front of him. We're coming down with 3 to go. Looks like 3 to go.
Yeah, it is indeed.
3 to go, and you can see Larkamp now weaving back and forth.
Yeah, it may not be good news. I think Morgan is faster than Larkamp. If Morgan gets around gets around Larkamp. It might be harder for Harrington to get there. Be good for Harrington to try to get Morgan while he's still stuck behind Larkamp. Here they come up to Lukey Heights.
Yeah, I definitely think Morgan's a little quicker, but Larkamp's doing a good job keeping his car wide, and it's coming down to the end. That top 5 sounds a lot better than a top 6.
They got
So,
George
nice
Anzaldo and Mike Rigney in front of them. Lap traffic is going to be fun here. 2 to go. This will be 2 to go for these guys when they come under the flag stand.
Larkamp getting a good run up the front straight away. They're all gotten a good run, but you see Larkamp kind of weaving back and forth to break that draft. They go around the lap car there, going in turn 1, flat out. Connor Harrington is looking to go around the outside. He's going to go in the inside. Oh, and it's tight with Aaron Morgan. He's going to chop him off, not give him that opportunity. Nice job from both those guys with no contact. This is a great battle for that 5th position. It's going to go down to the wire.
Oh, and we talked about Rasmuth. I think we have time for a replay. Rasmuth Martinez got into it. We've been following this battle. It just happened, Director. Car number 3, car number 68. We're going to hustle it in before we get to the checkered flag. We're going to really work to get it because it's a battle we had been watching. And Aaron Frazier also has an off in there.
After this, we got to go back to the battle with Aaron Morgan, Connor Harrington. They went 3 wide and split Stefan Larkamp. Here's the replay, though.
And there it is.
Connor Harrington
got there.
Yeah, but these guys went 3 wide through turn 4 or turn 5.
They're not done.
And put Larkamp in the middle, and they're not done. They're coming up the front straightaway. Connor Harrington around a lap car of George Anzaldo as well. Here they come. Final lap. Aaron Morgan's looking for that first top 5. They're going to go around the outside in turn 2. He's not going to be able to make it.
Karam just going into corner number 10 right now. We're going to have to go pick up our leader as he is on the throttle. Round number 14 here. It's going to go to Sage Karam. We'll come back. We'll get the replay from anything that happens behind him. In fact, let's jump back to it right now as we see Sage Karam cutting back for the win. Let's go back to Connor Harrington.
Oh, Connor Harrington gets a little loose out of turn 5. He's going to leave the door open. Here comes Aaron Morgan. He's going to go to the inside through 6, up to Lukey Heights on the outside. I don't think he can make it happen. It's very tricky to do, and he doesn't make it happen. But here comes Stephen Larkamp on the outside into turn 10. It is going to be a flat-out drag race. Connor Harrington doing everything he can to get the power down. It kind of checked up Aaron Morgan a little bit, give him a little bit of gap. Connor Harrington weaving back and forth, and here they come. I think Connor Harrington's going to get it, but here comes Stefan Larkamp. Is he going to get him at the line?
Not in these cars. The start-finish line comes too quick. Harrington does indeed get that top 5, and then Morgan and Larkamp. Let's go back and look at Frazier in a battle with Beard. This is for 12th position. And it's Frazier. Here comes Beard closing. Too little, too late. What great racing going on. The final 3 cars, Samuel Ryman, Mike Rasmus, who had that late incident. He's going to have to settle for 14th. Last car on the lead lap. Sleepy Chris Lanini comes across in 15th. Holy moly. Mama, cover my eyes. I've seen enough to know I've seen too much.
Yeah, I will say that battle with Harrington, Morgan, and Larkamp, I watched the whole thing, and those guys raced incredibly close and clean and aggressive. And no matter what, I'm sure they had a good time.
Congratulations to Sage Karam, who does indeed get the win here. Congratulations in the HyperX Grand Prix of Phillip Island. The racing's over. Our broadcast is not. We'll take a short break, show you some of our exciting sponsor television commercials, come back, run down the entire finishing order, talk to some of the drivers, and then put a lock on the gate. Back in a few. Welcome back to the HyperX Grand Prix of Phillip Island and the HyperX post-race show. We're going to put on screen for you this battle here on the last lap between Connor Harrington, Aaron Morgan, and Stefan Larkamp. While we were showing replays, Richie Hearn had an eye on this one. Richie, this was something to see.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I want to say this could be a candidate for a top 10 because at this point in the race, tires are gone. Everything's on the line for fifth spot, not the win, but fifth. But you can see these guys coming down into turn 4. They are going to go 2 wide, and then they're going to go 3 wide here in a second. As you see Connor Harrington trying to go to the inside, Aaron Morgan right behind him. And you're going to watch this battle. I'm not going to say too much because these guys did a hell of a job just kind of running clean. You couldn't get much closer. And they come up into Lukey Heights. And this is a really tough spot to get the pass done as Aaron Morgan tries to go around the outside. But no contact. I love to watch this. And no matter what, I'm sure these guys had a good time. And that's basically... You can see Connor Harrington get a little bit loose right there, and that checks up Aaron Morgan. That kind of finishes out, but that was a great battle.
You know, you said something golden there, that while they were doing it, no contact, all 3 drivers bring the cars home. It was Harrington in 5th, Morgan, who put on a great show in 6th, and Stefan Larkamp, who we thought was safe in 5th, only to finish in 7th. This is the HyperX post-race show. Let me tell you a little bit about this. The Lionheart Racing Series is powered by HyperX. When you're trying to claw your way to the top of the podium, like those 3 guys were trying to do, it pays to have an ultra-comfortable, high-quality headset that gives you the audio information you need to grab that checkered flag. For high-performance drams and SSDs, outstanding microphones, accurate meese, responsive keyboards, to their legendary cloud line of gaming headsets, HyperX makes the gaming gear you need to succeed. Casual or pro, no matter your creed, color, or culture, we're all gamers, and HyperX is always ready to game. Stick with me. I got a promo code for you. LionHRT15 at HyperXGaming.com. All right, now let's go to the turn racing finishing order. Well, he was out in front. It was a close battle there. He qualified in 2nd, was able to make the pass on Adam Blocker going into the very first corner, and then there was no looking back for Sage Karam. Picks up another road course win. Joshua Chin goes from 3rd to 2nd to get runner-up points. Adam Blocker will have to settle for 3rd. Andrew Kinsella qualified in 4th, finished in 4th. That's where he ran the entire race. Connor Harrington got that end-of-line penalty from 31st to 5th. Great run from him. We saw that as he got around Aaron Morgan and Stefan Larkamp. Dana Martinez was also in a battle. When when Rasmus had a problem like Rasmus, then the position was all for Damon Martinez as he gets 8th, 9th, and 10th. Chris Fowler and Matt Taylor. Ooh, a lot of excitement up there in the top 10, Richie.
Yeah, a lot of excitement. Coming home 11th is Adam Frazier. We watched him battling with Brian Beard earlier on. Brian Beard coming in 12th, right at the line, almost got him. Samuel Ryman doing a good job. Started 10th, but run a clean race up into 13th, finishing on the lead lap. Mike Rasmus, he was up there a little bit farther up, having a good battle. Started 30th at the 14th, got caught up in a few things and fell back a little bit. Chris Lanini in 15th, last car in the lead lap. Coming home 16th, and Mark Cohn. Scott Holmes in 17th. Dustin Wardlow had a wing change early on, coming home 18th. Jordan Zotto doing a good job in 19th, and finishing 20th will be Mike Rigney.
5 drivers were able to limp their car home, still out there racing. Christopher, Joe Branch, Tony Schowen, Brandon Limpkeman, and Ron Hacker. Then we get to guys who really ran into trouble. It was Ken Hacker, Bart Workman, Nathan Lewis. Here's the one that really hurts. He qualified 9th. He was really competitive. We're talking about Brian Yasek. He'll have to settle for 29th. That's a hard pill to swallow. Brian Greenlee was our spotlighted driver. Let's spotlight him again next week. Come on, what do you say? We didn't get to talk about him. He had to settle for 30th. Brian Carey, Tyler Graff, and Jason Galvin. Not sure if Jason actually gridded up here today, so I think we had 32 take to the track. All right, I have the honor of talking to real-world IndyCar driver Sage Karam. Before we talk about what's going on in the real world, let's talk about what happened here in the simulated Australia. Sage, it's all about that first pass in corner number 1, baby.
Yeah, you know, I ultimately I wanted to qualify first, but I went off on my first lap and then I reset, and for some reason it counted it as like 3 laps, so I only had 1 lap to get it done and ended up qualifying second. You know, Adam put in a great lap. But then coming to the green, I quickly learned that, hey, maybe starting second isn't all that bad because I had a really big draft going into turn one, and then was able to get the move done. And then, yeah, this track's really easy to make mistakes. It's actually not like one of my favorite tracks to race just because it is so easy to make a mistake. And I usually don't do well at races here. Actually, I think I made my Lionheart debut here. But I mean, it was a lot of fun tonight. I just, like I said, no mistakes, and just put my head down. And right before the first pit stop, I think Adam got kind of loose in the hairpin or something, and I was able to get out to like a second and a half, and then from there, I was just able to break the draft and go. The draft is so big here that these guys can stay with you if they're a second back or so. So you really got to figure out a way to get away, and we were able to do that, and then. From there, it was, try to lead the most laps, not make any mistakes, put in the fastest lap, get as many bonus points as I possibly could. So overall, good night, and shout out to the teammates, Joshua and Damon, they had good runs too. So SKM had a good night.
So let's go real world. I'm watching TV here in the comfort of my home and watching the IndyCar, and there's Sage Karam out there. I was surprised by that. Are you done for the season, or you got one more for the finale?
I think St. Pete is kind of up in the air. We're gonna see if the team can get going there. Obviously, it's tough right now with times and finding sponsorship. But I think the door's open to do it. So we'll see. But definitely, like I said, it's like 50-50. I'd love to go to St. Pete, love to race there. And I know the team would love to get back to another racetrack. It's been tough. This year going to road courses. They haven't done a road course in 7 years, so we're learning every lap, and as many laps and as many miles as we can gather. It just really helps our cause, and hopefully for 2021 we can do even more races and go attack the front guys and stuff. That'd be fun.
We talk sim racing, we talk real world racing. Let's close it up with the fans really want to know something personal. How are you and Abby getting along?
Great, man. We're engaged now and just
Oh,
we're going through this whole wedding planning process. And man, I thought driving race cars was tough, but man, there's a lot of moving parts with this wedding planning. I'll tell you, it's not easy. It's definitely a big time task, but she's good. She's a kindergarten teacher, so she goes to school Monday through Friday. She's doing a kind of hybrid deal right now where half the kids are in class, half the kids are online. So she's quite busy and planning the wedding as well, so happy times here.
well, when it comes to wedding planner, let her tell you where the apex of the corner is, man. Good luck down the road.
Thank you, man.
Sage Karam, our winner today. Lots of things going on in his life. Nice to catch up with him. Richie, who you got?
Yeah, I think we got Josh Chin, second place finisher. Josh there.
I am another second place.
Yeah, second place finisher. Kind of a quiet race. You guys were kind of in a little bit of a train there. I figured you were trying to save fuel, not really do much to challenge Sage. And then he kind of broke away a little bit. Give us a little rundown on how your race went.
Yeah, the first stint was pretty entertaining. I was hoping we'd stay in that train, and turned out Adam had rear wing damage from lap one. So that kind of went away, and after that, it was just trying to fight to stay up with Sage, and didn't get the breaks through traffic on the second stint. And after that, he was pulling away, and I was eating up my front tires a lot, so wasn't really much of a shot. Happy to take a second. It's good for the points. Just keep second place in the death, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, second place is going to be good, especially in the Rookie of the Year's standings with Nathan Lewis having a problem. That's going to give you a big gap for that. We're getting close to the end, but running up front, I mean, sometimes that's all you got. And I think once he broke that draft, I think it was a little hard to kind of stay with him.
Yeah, Sage was really eating my bacon through sector 3. Looking at lap times, I wasn't even close. I was 2.3 off through there. It was pretty close everywhere else, and then sector 3 came, and I lost 2.3, and there's not much you can do about that, especially with the run up to the front stretch. It's so much time to bleed off, so I can't complain about second place though.
No, never complain about second place, especially when it was kind of a quiet run there. Anybody you like to thank?
Everyone at SKM, Damon and Sage both had great races today. Damon's didn't quite go as well with having a problem in qualifying, but still a good finish for him. Good for us in team points. Thanks to Jason Brophy for helping call the race for me, and everyone at Team Talent, Team Chimera for supporting as well.
Yeah, definitely a first, second, and an eighth for the team points is going to be a big haul for you guys. So yeah, thank you for joining us, and we will definitely see you at the next one. Nice job, Josh.
Yes.
That was Joshua Chin, second place driver, who was trying to get to victory lane, but unfortunately, Sage Karen got there first. If you want to get to victory lane, you need the Sim Experience victory lane to help you get there. Go check out the Sim Experience AccuForce steering system. It has the most advanced tuning features on the market. The AccuForce Direct Drive is second only to the real thing. See the entire Sim Experience line of products at simexperience.com. Here's a man who didn't need a better wheel and might have needed a better braking system as Adam Blocker. Haste makes waste, baby.
My brakes are perfectly fine. I have HPP pedals, and they do me just fine. Getting run into in turn one, lap one, getting a rear wing change in the first stop kind of hurt.
Oh, we thought it was a slowdown penalty as I saw you lock him up coming into pit lane, but it was a wing change, huh?
Yeah, I was definitely aggressive going into pit in, but a little bit fast to the cones. But you can slow down just after it and get away with it, and so that's what I did. But yeah, I mean, I just took the racing line into turn one, lap one, and Sage hit the back of me and gave me a rear wing change. I could have wrecked the whole field if that's what we wanted, but unfortunately, the admins didn't give him a drive through for that. But kind of used to it because that's how it's been going all season. But yeah, was happy tonight with my pace. I mean, I got pole position, and I felt like that was a good lap. And then, yeah, I mean, I definitely had the pace for him. I mean, I came out of the pits like. I pitted like a second and a half behind him, and I finished the race like 17 seconds behind him, and I had a 15-second rear wing change, so pace was right there. It would have been a fight the whole race, so it just kind of sucks that it would have at least been second, but it would have been a good fight to the end for all the viewers and everything, so would have been really fun, I think.
For those who aren't familiar with how iRacing works, when did you know that they were going to change that wing and was going to cost you? Before you went to pit lane, during the drive to the pit box, or once you got there?
So with this particular car, iRacing probably needs to fix it, to be honest with you. But if you just get any damage to even your rain light, your rear attenuator gets pushed in, it automatically does a change, and you can't opt out of it. So normally, I wouldn't know at all. I wouldn't have known at all if because it didn't affect performance in this case. But my teammate, Brian Carey, unfortunately crashed early. And when he jumped out of the car, he told me that it was deformed. So I kind of knew that I was going to have a change. So that's, for example, why Chen was passing me at the end of that first stint. And I didn't really fight him because it didn't really matter. So because I knew I was going to have the change. So.
Well, you're able to salvage a good finish on the podium. Good job. We'll see you down the road. You're still not.
Yep, for sure. Definitely. I got 6 races left. Got a decent finish. Got some bonus points. Yeah. I just want to thank everybody at Adrenaline for all the support. And I just hope myself or Andrew can put together some good results and take the championship. See you guys at Atlanta.
We're going to talk to Connor Harrington right now as his partner, Andrew Kinsella, came home fourth. Connor did the drive-through all the way from 31st. Richie, you got him?
We do have him. And Connor, man, crazy start to the race. I know there was some stuff to miss. And man, he drove a hell of a race. You got to be happy with that.
Yeah. I mean, really kind of unfortunate there to get an EOL, which I mean, that is what it is at this point. We knew we were going to have to be cautiously aggressive to get by a lot of guys. I do have to kind of tip my hat off to a couple of guys that they kind of cut me a break, which was really nice. But we worked the fuel strategy to perfection. I think we gained track position every time we pit, and we were able to sneak 2 spots there at the end against Aaron and my teammate Steven. The pass coming through, coming out, I think turn 4, we were going 3 wide up the hill. That was probably one of the wilder moments I had. So hats off to them for keeping it straight and on the gray stuff.
Yeah, I know you're going to be disappointed because you had pace to run up front, but to come from 34st to 5th, in a road course, more or less. I mean, you had a good race. We were watching you move up. That battle right at the end with Morgan and Larkamp on the last lap, I watched the whole thing, and that was awesome.
Yeah, I got very lucky, and I actually burned my last push to pass as I went 3 wide there. So I had no button for the rest of the rest of the race, and we just got really lucky, and we almost crashed with George on the front straightaway as a lap car trying to let us go by. So it was almost somewhat clean sailing for like the first 75-80% of the race, and then it got crazy. And I'm just really thankful to get out of here with the top 5. Every race I finished this year, I finished in the top 5. So, it's really good to get out of here with that. I think really the most pace we had was maybe for 4th. I don't think we were going to catch or stay with Adam, Josh, and Sage. So to get 5th out of a 4th place car is really all you can ask for.
Yeah, no, good job, man. It was fun to watch. And anybody you'd like to thank for this?
Just want to thank Alcantech Simulation, Cranfield Simulation, TQ Engineering. They've been great supporting for us, and we're ready to go. Got a couple of rounds left. We're a little bit behind, but I like our chances. I think we can make a little magic happen for the championship.
Yeah, anything can happen for sure. So great run there, Connor. Thanks for joining us, and I'll hand it off to Soup for the end.
There you go. You think Sage Karam was fast on track? Watch Soup get through these closing credits. We got to thank Lionheart IndyCar Series, the title sponsor, First Medical Equipment. They've been the source of medical supplies and equipment in the Burlington, Iowa area for years because of their superior commitment to provide the absolute best in product quality and customer service. HyperX, whatever you play, however you play, HyperX knows we're all gamers. Use promo code LionHRT15 at hyperxgaming.com. Sim Experience, second only to the real thing. SimExperience.com and Butt Kicker. Bring more realism and immersion to your sessions. Use promo code LION2020 at thebuttkicker.com. To contact any of the sponsors you see on the screen, go to LionheartRacingSeries.com. The original music on every GSRC broadcast comes courtesy of June Lalonde. See the screen to how to contact her. On screen now are some of the companies and equipment we use to make this broadcast possible. The Lionheart IndyCar Series returns October 14th from Atlanta Motor Speedway. GSRC will be there and IESN. We hope that you come along as well. If you'd like more information about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it at GlobalSimRacingChannel.com. Also Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel, Twitter at GSR Channel, Instagram at GSRC_Graham. If you're not already a GSRC YouTube subscriber, head over to our GSRC YouTube page and hit that big red button. Looking for a unique gift? Go check out the GSRC merchandise store at gsrc.storeenvy.com. Sadly, the Joe Peak Halloween masks are sold out, but you'll find something cool there. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, that would be Richie, Sean, and Dougie, I'd like to thank all of you for watching, as it was indeed Sage Karam getting another road course win here in the HyperX Grand Prix at Phillips Island. With that said, we're off to have fun storming the castle. So until next time, peace, good health, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.